Today, we're going to take a tour of the average home, but with a twist. We're going to see it through the eyes of a curious child. The goal? To uncover those hidden dangers and give you a really practical guides to making your home a whole lot safer. So let me ask you something. How many potential hazards are lurking in your home right now? You know, the things you walk past every single day without even thinking about it. Well, today, we're going to put those risks right under the microscope. And this is really the core idea behind everything we're about to talk about. Childproofing is all about getting ahead of the accidents before they even have a chance to happen. It's about being proactive, and honestly, the simple habits we're going to cover can make all the difference in the world. Okay, we're kicking off our tour in the two busiest rooms in the house. But for a little kid, the kitchen and the bathroom can also be the most dangerous. Let's break down exactly why. It's kind of wild how everyday things completely change when you look at them from a kid's perspective. We see a bottle of cleaner under the sink. A toddler sees a bright, colorful toy to open. We see a kettle cord just hanging there. They see a super interesting rope to pull on. And a tablecloth? Oh, that's the perfect thing to yank and see what happens, bringing everything on that table crashing down. So the good news is the fixes here are so simple. We're not talking about expensive renovations. These are just habits. Sticking chemicals up high in a locked cabinet, turning a handle so it's not sticking out. These are those small, consistent things you do that build a truly safe space. It's so easy to forget this, right? We might think, oh, my coffee has cooled down a bit. But for a child's sensitive skin, it can cause a really bad burn in just a second. It's a risk we're around multiple times a day and one we absolutely can't afford to ignore. Now let's head into the bathroom. We see a pretty similar trio of risks here: poisons, burns, and the unique, terrifying danger of drowning. And again, it's the everyday stuff: a bottle of pills, a colorful toilet cleaner, a running tap. All of these can be a major threat to a little one. And here's the game plan to shut down those threats. Getting into the habit of running the cold water first stops those accidental scalds. A simple childproof lock is a cheap and effective fix. And that last point, that one is completely non-negotiable. It only takes a few seconds and a tiny bit of water for a tragedy to happen. Okay, let's move into the living and play areas. I mean, these are the zones where kids spend hours exploring, playing, and sleeping. And you guessed it, they come with their own unique set of hazards to watch out for. Think of these as your baseline whole house safety rules. A simple sticker can keep a kid from running straight into a glass door they just can't see. Safety plugs are so cheap, and they're an essential barrier to an electric shock. And any heat source, a fireplace, a radiator, you name it, it absolutely has to have a physical guard around it. No exceptions. All right, let's talk about one of the biggest silent threats, especially in a playroom: choking. The definition itself is simple. It's anything that can get stuck in a child's airway. But how in the world do you spot a potential hazard when you're looking at a room just full of toys? This right here, this is your golden rule. A 20-cent piece is the perfect real-world test. If a toy, or even a piece of a toy, a button, a bead, if any of it is smaller than that coin, it's a potential choking hazard for a little kid. It's a super simple test you can use on absolutely everything. You know, even the choices we make for bedtime have these hidden safety issues. For example, close-fitting pajamas are way less likely to catch fire than a big, loose nightgown. Taking a bib off before sleep gets rid of a strangulation risk. And you never, ever pin a dummy to their clothes for the exact same reason. The cord itself is the hazard. These are small details, but they have huge safety implications. Of course, a child's world doesn't just stop at the back door. The yard, the driveway, the car. These are all places that need their own specific safety check. So, let's head outside. The garden, oh yeah, it's got a whole new menu of dangers. That point about storing chemicals in old drink bottles is so important. A kid can't tell the difference between water and weed killer just by looking. And to a curious toddler, a ladder doesn't look like a tool, it looks like the coolest climbing frame ever built. I just want you to look at this number for a second. 5 centimeters. That's less than 2 inches. That's all it takes. A bucket left out in the rain, a little wading pool, a fish pond. This number just proves that any amount of standing water is a serious danger, and it requires your full attention. So if you have a pool at home, these are the 3 commandments of safety. The barrier has to be physical and totally secure. Supervision can't just be you in the general area. It has to be active, direct, eyes-on supervision. And the chemicals you use for the pool, they are incredibly dangerous and have to be locked away, period. And what about car safety? This routine is designed to stop the most common and heartbreaking driveway accidents. You secure your child first so they can't dart out while you're distracted. You do a full walk around of the car to make sure no one is in a blind spot. And getting them to exit onto the curb keeps them away from traffic. It's a simple sequence that can literally save a life. So we've toured the whole house and even the yard, but this is about more than just checking off a list of tasks. It's really about building a consistent safety mindset so that all these good habits just become second nature. And here's your final takeaway checklist. First, know that when you're stressed or tired, that's when you have to be extra vigilant. Prepare your house now so that these good habits are just automatic. Remember that other people's homes might not be child-proofed, so you got to be the eyes. And finally, be ready for an emergency. Have the right phone numbers saved and visible, and have any first aid items your doctor recommends. So I'll leave you with this last thought. The goal isn't just to be safe when things are calm and you're on your A game. It's about creating a home so secure that it protects your family even on those off days. When you're tired, distracted, and just not at your best. Is your home ready for that?